Welcome back, Table Talk, episode 2, and Reese, this one's going to be a good one.
Man, I'm excited.
So let's start off talking about Basha football, starting 3-0 in their season with that offense playing amazing.
I know, man. Noah Roberts and Josh Gaines, they're an insane duo. Josh Gaines is kind of that inside bruiser kind of guy, just hitting everything, including the ref.
Oh, my God,
Insane.
yes. That was a interesting play. I'd say that
Yeah.
game was basically already over, and the ref just didn't get out of the
Didn't
way. They
move.
call him the train for a reason. So, yeah, that tandem really is fun to watch. They're one of the best in the state. Some of the best running backs I've seen in the high school level ever, other than Derrick Henry,
yeah.
if you've
Yeah.
seen his highlights. So I'm excited to see them for the rest of the season,
Yeah.
and what I've already seen, they're going to be really good.
True, man, true. And our defense, Dante Bruley, he has 7 sacks over 3 games, which is crazy, man. That's insane.
I mean, the offense gets a lot of the credit, of course,
Mm-hmm.
because they put up big numbers, whatever. But the defense, they held Williams Field to 14, and they held Brophy to 7, and then Orange Lutheran, of course, they held to below 30 points.
Yeah.
So they've been playing outstanding, and the amount of sacks, the amount of pressure they can get from that defensive line is insane. So that defense, led by Eli Kramer-Cronin, of course, who just interviewed with 100 yards. Make sure to tune in because that's going to be a good one. It's going to be a great defense for the rest of this
Yeah.
year, I think, and that synergy they have this year is going to boost them even higher than they were last year.
Yeah, I would like to highlight Caleb Garcia. He has been a factor, man. He's that mentality, man. Big hit Caleb. He hits hard, and you can tell he is on fire.
Yeah,
He's
and the hitting isn't his only skill suit because he could catch the ball too. He's forced multiple turnovers, even with a fumble last week.
Yeah.
And he's just one of the best players on this defense, and he's someone who doesn't get talked about as much as some of
Yeah.
the other players might be, but it's just that defense is full of stars.
Of course.
But moving on to the special team side of
Mm.
things, because we don't really usually talk about that. Not many sports teams do,
Yeah.
or sports shows, sorry. But you can't overlook this Basha special teams.
Trey Knox, man. 2 blocked punts against Brophy.
All day Trey.
He's insane. In 1 blocked Pat,
Whoa, field goal.
Whoa.
Blocked field goal against Orange
thought
Lutheran.
NFL stats.
Yeah.
1 blocked field goal against Orange Lutheran. He really is just, he's motivating the special teams, honestly.
Yeah, and that's something that the special teams coordinator obviously has been doing,
Yeah.
scheming him open, using his speed, to get outside and get those blocked punts. And my goodness, is he good at it.
He's incredible.
It's just unstoppable. But as we look on to the rest of the season for the schedule, we already talked about it. Basha won their first 3 games, and coming up, they've got some good ones.
Mountain View, then Queen Creek, then Westwood. Those are 3 games I honestly see us winning.
Yeah, I mean, those 3, the Bears definitely have a great chance. Throw South Point in there, I'd say, as well.
Yeah.
But then you go against Hamilton, and Hamilton's going to be one of those teams that'll be
Yeah,
tough.
that's the week we should look out for, honestly.
Yeah, and that'll be a tight game, of course, with them being high in the nation. But then that Basha Mesa game, I know you've got something to say
Yeah.
about that. That's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah. I honestly, before I thought it was just going to be a regular Basha win, but there's been recent transfers coming in from California to Mesa. So I'll get into that a little bit later, but that's kind of groundbreaking now.
Yeah, it really is. And then, of course, Basha Perry. Basha's
Yeah.
going to blow them out, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. And Reese, tackle football isn't the only thing we have here on campus, of course, with a multitude of sports. But
yeah.
let's talk about girls flag football a little
Yeah.
bit. Losing their first opener, but they looked good in that game.
Yeah.
Their players, really good.
Yeah, Lucy Burt is kind of our wide receiver 1 right now, and Amaya Walker's taking for QB, and she's kind of our running back.
Yeah, and those two obviously on the team last year. They played really well. But new addition this year, Victoria Beeks.
Yeah.
She's a freshman coming in, playing on varsity already. She's kind of filling in for that Claire McMahon role that we saw leave, and it left a huge gap
Yeah.
in the roster. So I'm excited to see how they play as the game goes on, and maybe they can make some noise in the playoff. Who knows? And now, Reese, last week, you might have to make an apology for... Yeah.
I was going to talk about that. So last week, I had Xavier Worthy on my fantasy picks.
Well, not last week. Excuse us. Not last week. 3 weeks ago. But
Sorry,
continue.
3 weeks
Yeah.
ago, I had Xavier Worthy on my fantasy picks, and he immediately got injured, and to put it lightly, he got 0 points.
So his boom of the week, as you said, got 0 points. So when I started him in my fantasy lineup and I saw it said 0 at the end of the week and I lost my game, I guess I could blame you.
So I would blame Travis Kelce.
Oh, you'd blame. Okay. Whatever you want to say, play the blame game, I guess. So if you haven't caught on yet, we're going back to Reese's picks, and this week he promises they're going to be better. He promises.
I know
so
they will.
let's take a look.
Let's go. Welcome back to Reese's Picks. Let's get right into it. Ted McMillan. He had 68 yards his first week. In the second week, he had 100 yards. That's pretty good for a wide receiver. I can see him taking the wide receiver 1 mantle. For my bust of the week, unfortunately, I have Josh Jacobs. He had 66 yards week 1. In week 2, he had 84 yards, which is pretty good for a running back. Now, unfortunately, he plays the Browns, who have Derrick Henry to only 2 fantasy points. And they held their opponents to only 46 yards per game, which is just crazy. And finally, we have my waiver wire pickup, Cam Scatterboo. Scatterboo! I'll be honest, week 1 was not pretty for only 2 carries for -3 yards. But week 2, he bounced back for 11 carries for 45. He had 2 receptions for 14, and he had a run to set up his touchdown too. His first touchdown, of course. I see him having a breakout game week 3, and I think he's going to do great. Go Giants. Back to the couch.
Well, Reese, I mean, those picks were pretty good, I think.
Thank you.
Hopefully. But will you trade me Cam Scatterboo, please?
No, never.
No, never.
Never.
Okay, as you can see, we're in our jerseys. Bills fan, go Mafia, go Mafia. Yeah,
Scatterboo's
that's
better.
right. We're the best team in the NFL, 100% without a doubt in my mind.
Okay, maybe.
So do you guys like the hat? It's kind of getting, held on to the last thread, but but it's my lucky hat, so had to wear it on the podcast. So Reese, we talked about it last week, our games of the week, which I got mine right. So, what was your game of the week this week?
My game of the week is going to be Philadelphia against the Rams. The battle of the 2-0 teams, Matthew Stafford versus Jalen Hurts. It's looking to be a really good game, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a rematch of the divisional round last year when the Rams almost came back and beat the Super Bowl champions, future Super Bowl champions. So that's going to be a wonderful game. And you kind of stole mine because coming in, I was like, oh, my God, that's the best game this week. Got to pick it. And then I say, Reese, what are you picking? And he's like, Eagles, Rams. I'm like, oh. But then I looked down in the schedule and I saw Ravens-Lions was still open.
Gosh.
So what a good game that's going to be.
That is
Monday
really
night
good game.
on primetime.
Primetime, man.
It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it sounds great, man. Like, that's going to be a game for the ages.
It really is. I mean, both these teams coming in, you've got the Ravens lost to my Bills week 1, and then you have the Lions who lost to arguably the best team in the NFL and the Packers this year.
Yeah, they're
also
looking to
in
make a
week
mark,
1.
really, with their new addition, Micah Parsons, of course.
They really are, and we'll talk a little bit more about the rest of the league.
Yeah.
But that game's going to be an interesting one, and I know I didn't ask you this. I'll ask you right after I say mine, but in that game, I think the Lions are going to come out on top and beat the Ravens, which not a good start for the Ravens season, but we'll see how that goes. So, Reese, your game, Rams-Eagles, who do you have?
It was a tough choice for me, honestly. But I think the Eagles are going to barely get out of this one with a win, and I think they're going to move to 3-0. I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a good game. I think Saquon's going to have a breakout game, and I think Devonta Smith is going to have a breakout game.
Yeah, I mean, those 3 players, amazing on their team, and their entire team is, I mean, they won the Super Bowl last year. They've got a super team. And, Reese, this is something I wanted to ask you. What team or what player have you been most surprised about this year?
Oh, wow, man. Indiana Jones.
Indiana
Daniel Jones
Jones.
out of the Colts, man. I don't know what it is. He was so bad on the Giants, and now, he just flipped a switch.
Oh, maybe they're a cursed franchise. I mean, you're wearing your Scatterboo jersey. Not trying to dig on you,
please, no.
but yeah, it has been really interesting.
He's
Maybe
had
they're
a great 2 games.
then again, maybe they're the Saints. That's
Yeah.
what I was just gonna say. Saints from last year, of course, 2 of the best games they've probably ever played,
And
then
they just lost.
Yeah,
They fizzled out.
the rest happened.
Yeah.
So that wasn't great for them. So we'll see if they can continue their win streak
Of
as they are
course.
2-0, one of the only
Yeah.
ones in the league. And I'd say my most surprising team right now would be the Chiefs, and not for a good reason.
Yeah.
Starting 0-2, of course, they played the Eagles, which that one I thought they were going to lose. That's a whatever.
Yeah, that's
a
fair.
lot of teams will lose to them. But losing to the Chargers, I get they will be better this year, but you've beat them so many years straight, and you've been so dominant in your division. It kind of shows me maybe their
I think their time of I
maybe
think
their
time's-
dynasty's about to be
yeah,
over, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
And
With
they're still going to be a
Xavier
good
Worthy
team.
gone-
They're still going to
Sorry,
be a
go
good
on.
team. I'm not trying to trash on them, but
Yeah.
I think that they might be declining just a little bit.
Yeah, with as my fantasy pick, Xavier Worthy, he is gone for a while, and Rashid Rice is still suspended, so they don't really have a lot of wide receivers, man. So it's just not looking good for them.
Yeah, it really isn't, but I mean, at least looking good for the Bills, as I've said multiple times already. And as we wrap it up, we just want to talk about one more thing. So, Damon Williams Jr., Demond, he's a Bashaw alumni. He's playing at Washington now, and he's been having a pretty good season so far.
Yeah.
Of course, starting 2-0, and he's one of the top people for the Heisman.
Yeah, he's on fire.
I can't wait to see him play, and I just needed to talk a little bit with you about him. How do you think he'll do this year in college football?
I think last season he played in the bowl game, the Pop-Tart Bowl, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
He had one incredible throw where he just spun out of traffic, just making beautiful. I think this season he's of course their starting quarterback, and I think he's slowly he's learning the ropes. He's catching his bearings. I think he's on fire. He's going to do good.
Yeah, he sure can make those he's a playmaker.
Big play,
He
man.
can make big plays, and he doesn't really make many bad plays.
Yeah.
And if we look at his schedule this year and Washington's schedule, they play 3 of the top 10 teams that are ranked right now.
Yeah.
They play, it's Ohio State, Oregon, and then I think it's LSU. I'm not 100% sure who the third team is.
Yeah.
But he has some games where he can really prove himself on a national level and prove that, hey, I should be winning the Heisman this year.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm rooting for him. You're rooting for him.
I'm rooting for him, man.
Our teacher Skolitsky's rooting for him. Everyone's rooting for him to get the Heisman this year. So I can't wait to see as his journey goes on. But that's all for Table Talk this week. Don't forget to tune in next time we do it. It's been a fun one, and
it
I can't
has.
wait for episode 3.
Me neither,
So until later, see you guys.
Peace.